What's up again, folks? This is going to be my second video in about 2 days. This is the Hot Toys Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Man, I have to tell you, I was excited when I popped open Jyn Erso. I am super fucking blown away at how awesome this figure is. Now, in full disclosure, I fucking hate Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Some of you know me, man. I'm a huge comic book geek. I'm a faithful fan of the comics, the source material, and some of the shows. I love Ghost Rider. You know, I'm a fan of, you know, Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze. You know, I know this is a different incarnation of Ghost Rider, but this man, I haven't seen the show, so if you're looking for my feedback as as far as how accurate he is to the show and stuff like that, I really can't speak to it too much. I did check out some videos of the film and some stills and some pictures. It's pretty spot on, you know, for the most part. But man, this figure is amazing as far as in the detail, the sculpt work, man, the paint application, the casting of the fire, man. I know some folks don't like I don't know what a good example is. Like with Iron Man, you get the fire blasters, you know, so you can imitate, you know, him using the blasters, like when he's flying and so on and so forth. Some people don't like it because they say it makes the figure look too toyish. Man, I don't know where I kind of don't believe in that school of thought. I have some shots on my Instagram, same handle, I Am Toys, and I have shots of the Iron Man with the blasters. I still think it looks good. I think it adds a little bit of color definition and contrast to the figure itself, and it makes it pop more, to tell you the truth. But you have other folks that believe that they make it look too cartoonish and too toyish. I don't know how to really integrate that school of thought into this figure because it's based on a TV show, which is still considered live action, and I don't think this looks like a toy still. I mean, I've watched some of the scenes on YouTube of him when he fires up, and I mean, I don't know what else you can really do as far as a paint application. So if anyone says, hey man, the flames on this make it look too much like a toy, I definitely don't agree with that at all. I mean, the comparison and reference example I'm using with Iron Man is not exactly comparing apples to apples. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But this figure, man, with the flame effects and everything, it's a beast, man. And I don't, like, I'm surprised it's not sold out already as far as the pre-order, because this fucking thing, man, has a presence like no other figure, man. I mean, I'm looking at my figures right now. You know, most of you guys have seen my videos. You know, I do my reviews in front of my displays, and I'm looking at my figures right now, and I can tell you right now that once this thing hits one of the shelves in my detolfs, it's going to take over, man. Whatever detolf it's in, it's going to be the immediate figure you look at. And I know the head sculpt has an LED light up effect. I'm telling you right now, guys, dudes, dudettes, you do not need it. If Hot Toys didn't add that option, it wouldn't matter, and I wouldn't have gave a shit if it didn't. Because trust me, when I zoom up on this sculpt and I show you the head sculpt, it really doesn't matter. And honestly, other than lighting it up for you in this video, I don't think I'm ever going to display it with the LED function up. Because number one, when I'm taking photos of this, I would have to pump down the exposure quite a bit just so you could probably see the light up effect under the lighting that I would use, which is kind of cool, you know, if you want to take some dim shots and, you know, get that flame effect on the head. But honestly, man, I'm telling you, you don't need it. And I know whatever shelf I put this in, it's going to be a monster. So I'm going to put some high resolution shots up on my Instagram. Again, it's the same handle, I Am Toys. If you haven't hit that 4K option on the YouTube, on your YouTube browser, you know, do it now, so you get the most out of this review. And I usually I'll pan the figure 360 degrees, and I'm going to show you a couple more poses. So again, if you're looking for any references as far as me comparing this to the show, I'm really not going to do it. I just don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I tried watching the first season. I tried jumping back on around the end of the second, and I tried jumping on at the beginning of the third. I don't know. There's something about it. I'm just not into it. But this Ghost Rider, man. I mean, even though Johnny Blaze is my, will always go down as the my favorite Ghost Rider, and you know, the only incarnation really for me, that this figure's a beast, man. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll just pretend that this is Johnny Blaze. But it's this figure's amazing. Hot Toys, they killed it on this, and you're probably never going to see another one of these unless he comes back into the show for some reason. But Hot Toys doesn't do too many TV characters very often, so this is probably the only time you're going to get this figure. So I'm telling you, man, buy it. Buy this fucking thing as soon as you can. If you're into the comics, and if you even if you like the original Ghost Riders, just pick it up. So anyway, let me stop running my mouth, and let's zoom in on the figure and show you the head sculpt and pan the body, and I'll show you the accessories, so on and so forth. And wow, guys, wow, this figure is a beast, man. The detail on the head sculpt is so awesome, so good. Those of you that have the previous Hot Toys Ghost Rider, I think it was based off the film. I'm assuming, and I can't remember. I think it came with a motorcycle and everything else. Some people have been screaming that this figure should have came with the car, but yeah, you guys know how much 1/6 scale vehicles go for, right? So you know, you just gotta, you know, who cares about a car, man? This figure is magnificent. Oh, and you know what? Something I should have mentioned in the beginning, just because I get a comment every now and then about it. You're gonna, and for those of you who have OCD, who knows, you may only hear this sound now that I'm saying it, but I have a smoke detector that keeps going off, and only because I keep getting a question about it, and people keep exclamation pointing a comment. Put a battery in your smoke detector. I cannot. The idiots who owned this house previously built the ceiling over the smoke detector. And I can't get to it, so we put new ones in. The only way I'd be able to do it is cutting through the ceiling, so you're going to periodically hear a beep every now and then. So those of you that have never heard it, I'm sorry, but those of you who are going to only listen to it now, I'm sorry that your OCD is going to basically grab you by the throat. But anyway, back to the figure. Sorry for that little segue. We'll spin the figure around a little and show you the outfit, and then do some show you the rest of the accessories, and then I'll show you some different looks as far as some posing, and hopefully that makes everybody happy. Alright, so let's spin them, and we'll show you that body, man. Killer detail on this outfit. The chains are cool. They did the paint application on it in a way that makes it look like they are heated up, which will definitely make for some very, very cool poses. Very, very cool poses. And you can futz that about a little more so the chains don't look like they're hanging like that. I just did it real quick so you guys would get an idea of how you drape the chains over. They don't actually lock in to each other, unfortunately, but kind of you find your workaround, so it's not that big of a deal. You know, your basic blue jeans, nothing fancy. And they are baggy enough that you get some pretty good articulation out of them. And these fire effects, man, they're so awesome that I'm so happy they included them. Because the fact that you can put these down on the ground or on the stand and just set it up like there's basically flames launching from around, grounded around them, it's really awesome. And this center one is actually a piece you're supposed to put on his hand, but I figure I'd put it in the middle and then go out from the sides with the additional pieces, which make it look a little bit cooler. But yeah, that big piece is actually for the hand for some poses. Man, dude, this figure is a beast. I don't even remember what the MSRP is on this figure. I think it's $225 or $220 or something. But it's worth it, guys. It is worth it. If you're contemplating getting it, I would pick it up. For sure.
Give you one last spin of that head sculpt to see, so you can see the detail on it. Sick, man. Totally sick. I mean, my God. I'm sorry, guys. This figure's awesome. This figure is so awesome. The presence that this thing is going to have in photos. I'll have some up on my Instagram, like I said. It's killer, man. I'll have some high resolution shots of this same pose and maybe a couple others. Whatever I show you guys, I'll probably also take shots of. Yeah, man. Really, really good job. This is a Toy Fair exclusive that I am definitely proud to own. And I don't even like the show. I might watch this season just for the hell of it now because I have the figure. But I doubt it's going to keep my attention. I haven't even talked to anybody, some of my buddies that are watching it, to see if it's even that any good. I'm sure it's alright though. I hear a lot of decent things about this season. Or the last. I don't even know what season this guy was on. I know it was somewhat recent. So alright, let me show you the accessories. Alright, so here are the accessories. I removed the flames by his feet and put them all on here too so you can see them. The only accessories that I don't have on there are the two fireballs that were in his hands. Those were on the figure itself, so you also get those in addition to what you're seeing here, and the chain that gives the effect that it's heated up. That's also not here, but that's also included. That was on the figure that you saw already. So as you can see, you get the floor fire arrangement, and you get that big piece right there, which just passed. That's also for the hand, but you can use it on the ground as well. I found around him to give you an extra piece. You obviously get the other pieces of flame. Those are all of them right there. You get that long piece that looks like the blaster effect that you get with Iron Man a little bit. More so it's probably feet. Probably more reminiscent of that. That's for the chain. That can go on the end. I'll show you a pose with that as well. And you get some open and closed hands. And I think I've got every hand there except for two, actually. The two closed fist hands I forgot to put on there, so I'll do that for you now. So these are the total. So you get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A combination of open and closed, a pointed finger. You can definitely have some fun with that. And because the jaw on the sculpt itself is articulated, you can open it and close it, which is sweet. Would have been nice if you had a middle finger sculpt. That would have been nice. And obviously you get another chain too, which is non-heated. So that's it as far as the accessories. If you guys have any questions up to this point, feel free to comment and whatnot. I'll get back to you when I can. But you know, this figure's not very accessory laden, and it doesn't have to be. It's the shit just the way it is. So I'm 100% happy so far, guys. So let me get to some other poses for you, and then I'll close out. All right, here's another pose for you. And I actually have the LED light turned on in the head sculpt, and as you can see, you can't tell. You can't see anything. So what I'll try to do, I'll see if I can flick off one of these lights and maybe you'll see it. I don't know. Nope, not really, huh? Let's try this one. Wow, even with the lights off, it really still doesn't come in. But it is on, I promise you. Maybe if I drop the exposure a lot. I don't know, let me see. Nope, and even then it really still doesn't come through. So, like I said, when you're taking some photos of this, some dimmer light, you'll be able to probably get that effect. Honestly, it's not important to me though, so really not. The figure itself is wonderful, so. figure, man. It's awesome. Definitely speechless when you start putting this thing in the poses. You will be having a ton of fun with this thing, I'm telling you. And I'll back out a little bit just so you get this pose from a wide shot.
There you go. There's the shot from a wider angle. Not the most creative pose, but just to give you an idea of where the right arm can raise up to laterally. As you can see from that pose, that's the max. His right arm doesn't go up laterally any farther than that. So it's, you know, pleather, so you want to be careful too about creasing, keeping it bent for too long, because you don't want to chip the leather and so on and so forth. The first pose that I had him in, I'm probably going to keep him in that, honestly, to tell you the truth, for now anyway. And then if I want to switch it up, I can switch it up. But for now, the first pose is probably all I'm going to do. Alright, so that's that pose, and I'll show you one really dynamic pose, and then we'll close out the video. Alright, so here you go, guys. One last dynamic pose for you. That left leg, that thigh goes up about that high. It doesn't really go up any higher than that. Just trying to give him, trying to mimic a pose where he's popping off in the air, about to give someone a full frontal with that fireball attached to the chain. So that's really about it, man. In my opinion, he definitely portrays, at least from what I've seen in the pictures and some YouTube videos, he portrays that Ghost Rider from the show. And like I mentioned, I don't even like the show, and this figure is amazing to me. So I'm definitely happy to have it. It's really incredible for a TV. I think they call them the television movie masterpiece series now, or something like that. I think that's what Hot Toys is calling them. I don't expect this figure to stick around too long, but I've been wrong in the past about certain figures. So. But this figure is amazing. It really is spectacular, and I can't wait to get this thing on the shelf. Now it's just trying to figure out what I'm going to put, who I'm going to put him next to, because he's going to steal the thunder from any display shelf. So from any other figure that you have next to it, he's definitely going to steal a spotlight. But not really too many cons with this figure at all. Articulation is decent. There had to be a con. Honestly, the LED light function I think is bullshit. You really don't need it, and I don't know who's really going to be displaying with it on in a DTOF, because you're not going to see it unless you have the lights off. And what the hell's the fucking point of that, right? So that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, again, feel free to let me know. Check out my Instagram page. Most of these poses I will have, at least the first shot and this one I'll have on my Instagram, so if you want to see some high resolution shots, check me out over there. Same handle, I Am Toys. And if you liked the video, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends. And if you don't like it, again, like I always say, you're not hurting my feelings. It's all good. Love is love. Love to love you, love to hate you, right? So, alright guys, deuces, and enjoy the rest of your work week.